So apparently Blue Protocol is getting worse. Is that true?
Tencent to develop mobile version of hit anime game Blue Protocol. Tencent is making Bandai Namco's Blue Protocol into a mobile game.
Okay.
Blue Protocol Mobile Edition in the works, Tencent developing and publishing. Tencent secures rights to develop and publish mobile edition of Blue Protocol. Tencent secured rights to publish mobile version of Bandai Namco's anime MMORPG Blue Protocol. Yeah, there is admittedly nothing more telling of a lack of faith in your game than letting a Chinese studio, in specific Tencent here, ruin it with a cheap mobile port. But you know what? That is what Bandai Namco have decided to do. And I had a lot of faith in Bandai Namco when they first announced Blue Protocol.
I don't know about this, man. Like, Tencent might as well make it a good game then. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, this is the way I see it. Tencent's everything. Yeah, that's the way I see it, right? Is like, Tencent owns Riot 100%. Y'all know this, right? Riot's acquired. Who's Riot owned by? Tencent. Owning 100% of the company. They own 100% of the company. Tencent owns Epic Games. What's this here? 48%. 40% of Epic Games. We love grinding gear games, right? Path of Exile. Well, Tencent owns part of grinding gear games. A very large percentage of grinding gear games. From Software too. Yeah, I actually don't. I didn't know that. Well, I heard about that. I just didn't look into that. 15%. Let's see. Can I find this? This is From Software, owned by Tencent. Both. Yeah, Sony and Tencent both purchased significant shares in From Software. So, like, if you want to say Tencent is gonna be bad, just like no matter what, I mean that's a lot of games, man.
Enjoyed a lot of Bandai Namco's games. All the Tales of games. Code Vein, Scarlet Nexus, Elden Ring, although admittedly they published Elden Ring, I don't think they developed it. They have single-handedly...
Well, it doesn't matter because Elden Ring, the developers are still owned by Tencent. Not entirely, but they're partially owned. Like, I mean, that's just how it is.
Turned what was arguably one of the most anticipated upcoming MMORPGs into simultaneously one of the biggest potential failures in recent memory.
I actually don't think that's true. I think that the reason why people have lost excitement with Blue Protocol, there are two reasons why people lost excitement with Blue Protocol. Number one, the Japanese version of the game has been released and it's been met with negative reception by the Japanese audience. That's a fact. Number two, the announcement that they are going to censor a number of things in the game, in the Western version of the game, in order to make it in line with, Western American Puritan values. So those are the reasons why people are not excited about Blue Protocol. It's got nothing to do with Bandai Namco or Amazon. It's got nothing to do with Amazon at all. Like, Amazon's not telling them how to make the game in Japan. That's not it.
This is not an over-exaggeration. And even more so, this is disregarding everything Amazon has been accused of doing and has been proven to be doing. Yeah.
This is the thing. Like, everything negative about Blue Protocol right now has to do with the Japanese game that Amazon has literally no interaction with at all. Amazon is publishing the game in America. They've got nothing to do with the problems of the Japanese game.
They're doing this all on their own. Tencent scores the biggest anime game with Blue Protocol deal. Tencent Holdings has secured the rights to develop and publish the mobile edition of Bandai Namco Holdings Inc.'s Blue Protocol, betting on one of this year's most anticipated multiplayer games to rekindle international growth, according to people familiar with the matter. Blue Protocol could have definitely aided in that. Blue Protocol Mobile, not so much. We don't even fucking have Blue Protocol yet. How is a mobile version of a game we don't even have gonna rekindle international growth and attention? The world's biggest...
Well, the reason why is because a lot of people don't have PCs. Like, for example, in China and South America, mobile gaming is a lot bigger because in China, there's a lot of time that people spend on, like, public transportation, and they do mobile gaming on public transportation. And that's one big reason. Another reason why obviously South America has that is that they don't have as much money in general, and so they're able to afford a smartphone but not a gaming PC. India is also the same issue to an extent. I just don't really know as much about that. So I think that it's reasonable that they want to make the game mobile. Like Genshin Impact is a mobile game. I don't think that a game being a mobile game means that it's a bad game. Like, for example, Diablo 4 wasn't a mobile game, but it played like one, right? You still have the same fucking battle passes. Like, you still have the store getting opened all the time. Like, what are we really talking about here? Every year, phones get better, right? The computing power of phones gets stronger and better. And there is a point where phones will be able to run really great games, like Blue Protocol, like Genshin Impact. They can now. So, like, I don't think that a game being on mobile is a justification for it to be bad.
Games company has assembled a developer team for the project and holds the global distribution rights. So this is confirmed to be coming globally too, guys. This is not a Chinese exclusive.
Yeah.
The people said, asking not to be identified discussing private plans. The tie-up is an extension of Tencent's proven formula of creating mobile content for franchises like Call of Duty and PUBG. It's not clear when Tencent... But these are pre-existing franchises. These are already popular games. Blue Protocol has been panned in Japan. Blue Protocol has received a lot of criticism globally.
Yeah.
That is not going to have the same effect internationally as Call of Duty and PUBG. It's not.
I have to also say, like, Tencent is a very, like, I don't think the people that work at Tencent are stupid. I don't. I think that, you know, you could say that they're, you know, like, operating as an arm of the Chinese government or some bullshit. Sure. But they're not stupid. So, like, if they think that this is a good idea, I actually think that's kind of a good thing for Blue Protocol. Straight up. I do.
Clear when Tencent will debut Blue Protocol's mobile game, which could take a year or more for development. The PC edition of the game launched in Japan in June, and Bandai Namco spokesman declined to comment, while representatives for Tencent didn't respond to requests for comment either. Blue Protocol is the latest large-budget online role-playing game that's free to play and relies on in-game purchases for monetization. And given the state of the game in Japan, I understand why they're opting to release a mobile version of the game. They want some kind of return on their investment here.
Yeah, of course.
It's proven a lucrative business model for established titles like League of Legends from Tencent-owned Riot Games. In Blue Protocol, anime characters wield blades and magic in a fantasy multiplayer world designed by the team behind Bandai Namco's Tales series. Before we go any further into this video, though, I want to take a moment here to thank our incredible patrons over on Patreon who allow for me to continue to do videos like this every single day. In its first week, the game attracted 600,000 players. When I did my video with Asmongold, he and I discussed how there were over 500,000 players that played it within the first week, and we're both actually relatively impressed with that, because
it's a lot of people, like especially like 500,000 people that play it in just Japan. You have to keep that in mind. Like, this was a Japanese only release, and they had 500,000 people that logged on to play the game. I think that people want a game like Blue Protocol to succeed. So even whenever it comes out in the West, I think that you're going to have hundreds of thousands of people logging on to play this game, even if it's pretty much determined to be a bad game or pay to win or problematic in some other way. Like, people will still log on to try it out, the same as they did with Tower of Fantasy, the same as they did with Lost Ark. It doesn't matter, because people are always going to look for a new game. They want to have that new experience. Absolutely.
This is exclusively within Japan, and therefore had the potential to reach a much larger audience globally, including 200,000 simultaneous connections at its peak, marking the fastest launch for any Bandai Namco domestic PC online game, the Japanese firm said.
That's insane.
Amazon's game division is set to launch the game in the Western markets next year.
Next year. Yep.
Sure. Across PC, PlayStation, and Xbox platforms.
I think it'll happen.
Tencent, over recent years, has made inroads in Japan's guarded entertainment industry, scooping up slices of prominent local studios behind smash hits including Elden Ring and Nier Automata. Wait, hold on. Wait, Tencent was in charge of Elden Ring and Nier Automata? Or maybe they just purchased the studios that developed Elden Ring and Nier Automata.
They're invested into a ton of different things. That's what I'm saying, right? It's like they're invested into, like, everything. It's like Tencent is like a massive company. Like, Tencent size Company size. Market cap $3.89 billion. It's the 21st most valuable company. It's fucking huge. Tencent's not dumb. They wouldn't destroy a game that's doing well. They bought it in the first place because it was doing well. I mean, I think that there's a lot of reasons why they could be buying it. 3.29? Oh, did I say 3.29? Yeah, I meant 389.
Okay, yeah, never mind. The Shenzhen-based company also launched mobile games based on established brands like Pokemon and Naruto for the Chinese and global market. Could you imagine a Chinese Naruto? Commonly abbreviated to ACG, Japan's anime, comic book, and gaming franchises are already popular in Tencent's domestic market. Yeah, anime games, anime series are popular everywhere around the world, increasingly so in the West. The genre also influenced a generation of Chinese game makers, including the studio behind the seminal Genshin Impact. China's $40 billion gaming market, the world's largest, shrank for the first time in 2022 during regulatory and economic turmoil. Same time, Tencent barely grew its revenue, fighting a tough battle against fiercely competitive domestic rivals. Given its difficulties at home, Tencent is ramping up its gaming investments in places like Europe, Japan, South Korea, hoping to leverage them into multimedia juggernauts that lock Chinese consumers into its ecosystem. So essentially,
well, that's the thing, right? Is like getting the global mobile audience. That's where the real money is. Like, just so you guys know this, like, I'm sure a lot of people already know this, but some people might not. Is a reality check. Mobile gaming is bigger than PC and console gaming put together. I know. Say it isn't true. But it is. And it is a lot bigger. And it is growing faster as well. So, of course, they're going to want to do this. Like, everybody is trying to make a game that's playable on mobile. And there are plenty of games, by the way, that are playable on mobile, and they're not garbage. But the difference is that they were developed for PC first. I think that you can make examples like Fortnite, Minecraft, and Among Us. Like, all of these games are playable and functional on mobile, but they were developed for PC first. Which, to be fair, Blue Protocol was also developed for PC first as well.
Well, that wasn't very revealing, but the most important thing to take away from this is that Bandai Namco is not going to be in charge of Blue Protocol Mobile. Rather, Tencent is. Blue Protocol is going to be developed and published by a Chinese studio that is notorious for heavy pay-to-win, that is known to produce fairly low quality mobile games, and this is probably going to be absolutely no.
I mean, I don't care if they do it, like, because the thing is, like, Tencent proven formula of creating mobile content for franchises like Call of Duty and PUBG. Call of Duty and PUBG, they have a separate mobile game. Like, whenever you play PUBG mobile, you're playing against other people that are playing on mobile. So, like, I don't care if they make a mobile version of the game. Who gives a fuck? It's a separate game. Yeah, I don't think this has anything to do with the PC game.
Oh, different. I don't know why Bandai Namco opted to have a mobile version of a game that isn't even released around the world, release probably within a relatively close proximity to, like, let's be honest here, Blue Protocol is going to theoretically launch at some point in 2024 globally. The mobile version of Blue Protocol is probably going to launch at some point in 2024, maybe early 2025. So they're going to be released within a relatively similar time frame here. And given the reception that Blue Protocol has had in Japan and that Blue Protocol has had with regards to Amazon Game Studios' alteration of core aspects of the game, it's no wonder they're choosing to go the mobile route.
Yeah,
they want something back. They need something back because the game is not going to do remotely as well as they had originally anticipated it doing. Now,
well, yeah, obviously, like, and it's smart for them to sell. I think that this is a smart decision for them to make. I do. I don't think this is. I think that the end of Blue Protocol as we know it, that could be a good thing, because the Japanese version of Blue Protocol is bad, according to the Japanese players and according to what I've seen. So if Tencent wants to develop a separate standalone game, as they have done in the past with both Call of Duty and PUBG, I don't care. It's like Diablo Immortal. I don't care what's happening in Diablo Immortal because Diablo 4 is out. Diablo 4 might have bullshit in it, but it's not even remotely as bad as Diablo Immortal, so who cares? So I don't really see this as being a problem at all. Yeah, if they want to make a cash out, pay to win, garbage version, even more so than the game already is, version of it for mobile, good for them. I'm not going to play it anyway, so it doesn't matter. And as long as it doesn't affect the main game, the same way as Call of Duty and PUBG, mobile don't affect PUBG and Call of Duty, I don't feel like at least, then what's the problem?
Isn't the end of the bad news, though. If you guys recall, Blue Protocol was also going to launch in 2023 in Korea, in Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau, and that is no longer the case because Blue Protocol has been delayed in Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Macau.
Well, I think it's smart for them to delay the game, personally, because it's obvious that the game isn't in a good state right now. Like, for example, the release of Lost Ark was a really great idea with the way that Amazon released the game, because they released Lost Ark at a, what do you call it? They released Lost Ark at a high point in Lost Ark's history and in their lifespan. So whenever you're releasing a game, whenever the game is doing well, that's obviously going to be better for the game. So why would they want to release Blue Protocol whenever they know the current version of the game is problematic? You see what I'm saying? Somebody says those words, though, it's not as bad as Diablo Immortal. The monkey paw curls. Their goalpost has already been moved. Well, no, I don't think so. I mean, Diablo 4 has, like, dumb stuff in it for sure, but to say that it's the same as Diablo Immortal, I think is disingenuous. I played Diablo Immortal. It's nothing like that. Like, it's funny to joke around about it. Yeah, sure, but, like, it's really nothing like Diablo Immortal.
They were originally going to release in 2023. Now they're going to release at some point in 2024. Maybe. That is unfortunate because I was hoping to actually get into the Korean or the Chinese version of Blue Protocol since I was banned from the Japanese one. I did enjoy my time in it. I never hit endgame, but I mean, it was fun. It was fun. Nevertheless, that will no longer be the case unless Korea somehow still manages to launch their version of the game this year. But I'd be on the lookout for a delay there as well. Yeah. And given Throne and Liberty was delayed globally into at some point in 2024, who knows? Blue Protocol might be pushed back again globally. And you know what? At the end of the day, we're probably going to end up getting Blue Protocol Mobile before we get Blue Protocol Global. With that being said, yeah. I can't believe that this is the state of the game right now, that this is the state of the intellectual property.
I think a lot of people are probably disappointed about this because people spent 3 years being hyped up for Blue Protocol only for it to come out and for it not to be that good. But as I said before, I think that it's a good thing that it released in Japan first and not worldwide, because this gives people time to it gives them time to develop the game and improve it. Like, because Lost Ark came out originally and it was not very good, and they improved it originally whenever they brought in Legion raids. Like, it's not like Lost Ark immediately came out and it was a banger. Like, there were a number of games like that.
Holy fucking shit, what are they thinking? Now, if Blue Protocol isn't your kind of game, absolutely no problem. I got you covered with 2 different videos on screen right now. It might be of more interest to you. And a top 10 video coming in the very near future for people that are no longer interested in Blue Protocol, but want an alternative that kind of resembles it.
I just think, like, Lost Ark was very undercooked at release. Yeah. And so here's the thing. I don't think that Tencent buying the rights to distribute Lost Ark as a mobile game is a bad thing. I don't think that killed PUBG. I don't think that killed Call of Duty. I don't think that the mobile version of those games affected the base game. So, yeah, I don't think this is a big problem at all. And I think that if anything, if Tencent is again, the 21st largest company in the entire world, as a $389 billion market cap, is investing in Blue Protocol, I think if anything, that's probably good, because it means that they think, and again, the people that make decisions for them obviously make good decisions because they also invested in Larian Studios, Epic Games, Grinding Gear Games, and Riot Games, all W studios. So yeah, I think this is a good thing. Or I don't know if it's a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think that categorically it's a bad thing. If there are actually different versions, it doesn't make the PC version limited. I don't care. Yeah, I doubt they're going to do that. I'll go ahead and link the video right there. I actually didn't know about this at all, though. To be honest, I had no idea. Yeah, I'm glad that I looked into this, and I think that also Amazon. I don't know what's going to happen with like the censorship, etc. As I said, like we had kind of a long conversation about that, so I don't really want to get into it again. But I think that obviously, like after everything that's happened with Lost Ark, they probably learned a lot of things, and I think they've also improved the release schedule of things like New World. So I do hope that this is going to be their third MMO that they're releasing. So hopefully they'll be able to do it in a way that's, I don't know, better.